Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show. I want to talk movies. Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Want to talk movies?
I just want to talk movies.
You want to talk movies?
I just want to talk them.
I want to talk movies.
Patrick, you want to talk movies?
It just
You guess so?
confirmed it.
You just confirmed it?
Yes.
All right. Well, today we are going to have another Get to Know Us segment because I think that's always fun. I don't know. Just to make it awkward.
Really?
Yeah.
You really think it's fun?
I think it's fun, and we're going to do it. So I'll do that, and we're going to have what we've been watching. So we're just going to throw some, again, just more movie talks in that segment, and possibly a little mini game, but that probably won't be that long. And for today's review, we want to talk about Netflix original show, Castlevania. So, yes.
Bleh.
Right
Pretty
on.
much sums it up. It's
Pretty much. Okay. So, guys, so the question that I have for you today,
question of the day.
because we were talking about movies, and when it comes to movies,
When it comes to movies,
we gotta talk about one of the best filmmakers alive, which is Tarantino. So easily, what is your guys' favorite Quentin Tarantino movie?
okay.
I'm gonna start with Patrick.
I will go first because this is obviously going to be chronological order right now. I'm going with the very, very, very first movie that got released, which is Reservoir Dogs.
Oh,
I love that movie.
that is good.
There are a lot of close seconds, but I don't know. I fell in love with Reservoir Dogs. I'm not usually into heist movies, but Quentin Tarantino is so good at making like whatever can go wrong will go wrong situations, and this movie is literally all about
Yes.
that.
Can I ask you? Was it the first Tarantino movie you saw?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
That's a good follow-up question. What is your first Tarantino movie, if you can remember?
I cannot remember.
Okay.
It might have been Kill Bill.
That's not a bad one to start with.
Popular one.
Yeah, I actually really like that movie too. I love all the movies that I've seen so far of his. But yeah, I have to go with Reservoir Dogs. I don't know what it is about it, but I think it is. I enjoy it so much because of the character development is just so strong in that movie. It's like you literally get to know at least all the main colored bank robbers. There's some of the colors. They die way too fast for you to even get to know them.
I'm assuming we can just say spoilers for when we talk about these movies.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't remember those other colors. That's why I'm referencing them that
That's
way.
what the movie comes down to, though, right? I mean, it's all about the characters. It's all about their stories, like how it's changing within this story.
Yes,
like it's.
And it's really great because there's like a lot of like almost, and I think this actually goes for a lot of his movies too, but there's almost like, I would almost argue, a lot of like pointless scenes, but really all they're for is just character development. You know, like there's no driving force behind them at all.
No, that's like a Tarantino kind of thing too.
The dialogue is just always well equipped.
He's humanizing these professional criminals, and it's just great. And Harvey Keitel, who plays Mr. White, is amazing, right? Like he's defending Mr. Orange, who's dying, and Mr. Orange is like he's the mole or whatever. He's the undercover cop, and Harvey Keitel is fighting so hard to prove that he is not the mole. And at the very end, I'm pretty sure he kills Mr. Orange. I can't quite remember.
Yeah. Please talk about Mr. Blonde.
Okay, well, that is my favorite scene in the entire movie, is Mr. Blonde torturing a cop to the song Stuck in the Middle with You.
Yep.
And
iconic.
That's probably my favorite torture scene, and that's probably why this is one of my favorite movies. I mean, it's hard. I mean, favorite torture scene is not something too many.
Five?
It's hard top 5 torture scenes.
But
save that. That could be admissible.
Him dancing to this pretty like poppy song, you know, as a guy is screaming in the background is just so haunting. It just sticks in your brain. And this scene is so great because you swear you see the guy's face getting mauled, but it's off screen as he's doing it.
You can still
it is
feel
so
it.
good.
When you said that, like, my first impression when I was remembering the scene was like, oh yeah, he gets all cut up, and it's like, oh wait, no, you're right. It's all.
People still describe that scene as super graphic.
Yeah.
But it really isn't, because it takes place all off screen. But you always, as Drew was saying, you remember it as if he's getting his face ripped up right in front of you.
No, masterfully done.
Mr. Blonde is amazing. What's his name? His name is Michael Madison. Did a great job as this kind of crazy but loyal henchman almost. Like, oh my gosh. And Mr. Pink does a great job of being the paranoid, which is Steve Buscemi, the paranoid kind of like I don't know, smart alecky kind of cop and stuff like that. Like all the characters felt like all the actors felt like they were really well placed for their position. Yeah. Like, they all felt pretty spot on. Like, even Quentin Tarantino did his signature, like, just scummy, like, piece of shit. He always wants to play, like, the worst, like, bottom feeder character in all of his movies.
It's so great. I just love how he, like, add himself in, like, in Django. Like,
he plays, like, a really shitty person. Yeah. Like, and he always plays the person you just, like, hate or you should hate.
And so, like, going off that, like, Django blows himself up. Why the hell not? You know? It's just great.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to go. I'm gonna go to Drew, but before I have a feeling that him and I share the same movie. I don't know. We kind of talked to him before the show. But
well, if we share the same movie, it's only because you're not original. That's the only thing I can think of.
Just go.
It is Kill Bill Volume 2.
It is not the one I picked.
Oh, well.
All right.
Kill Bill Volume 2 is... so we talked about this a little bit earlier, but it is theorized that all of Quentin Tarantino's movies take place in one universe. There's, like, the Apple brand cigarettes. There's, like, a lot of different things that connect, the Vegas from Pulp Fiction to Reservoir Dogs. Mm-hmm. And to my understanding... the Kill Bills are movies within Quentin Tarantino's universe. So it is a fictional movie within Quentin Tarantino's fictional universe, which I think is just already hilarious.
That is great.
But it was obvious it was going to be a Kill Bill pick for me. The real question came down to one or two, and the two big things that it came down to for two were... Oh God, that's three. It's three. It's like the three big ones. So it's Pai Mei, the whole flashback scene with Pai Mei.
Okay, he's so great.
He's one of my favorite characters. He's played by Chai Hugh
that
Lee.
beard flip.
Oh my God! It's just and it's hilarious. It's just amazing. Like I that's like one of my favorite characters in any movie ever. Just the whole.
It's kind of funny because he's like obviously inspired from like other characters, but now when other movies kind of do that character, they're going off of Pai Mei. He recreated this like crazy Chinese kung fu master. Like he almost recreated
the whole like Chinese way too insulting, easily angered, like plucked a man's eye for looking at him funny, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is the fight between Uma Thurman and Daryl Hannah in the trailer, where they're fighting with the katanas.
Oh, yeah.
And it basically comes down to Uma Thurman plucking out Daryl Hannah's other eye, and now she's just blind in the trailer, and she walks off with both swords. And that
we don't even know if she's still alive.
Well, because she killed Bud, also played by Michael Madsen.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, big fan of the cast. Always thought that was kind of cool. But she killed him with a Black Mamba, because that was her code name in Kill Bill, where she was the Black Mamba. And so that thing just loose in the trailer, and she's rolling around blind. I'm gonna kill you!
Yeah.
like just screaming the whole time, and I just love it. And then third is you get to really meet Bill in this. You get to meet David Carradine playing Bill, and just some of the dialogue in that whole. I mean, just when she comes in and he's playing with her daughter, and it's just the shock. Oh my god! Because this is really a story about motherhood. This is what Kill Bill is about. It's about a mom who, she's doing all this for essentially her child that she doesn't even know it's like a revenge story, and then it turns into this. It just flips you on your head right at the end. One of the best twists, in my opinion. And they're playing fake with guns, and she walks in with a real one, and it's just like the juxtaposition of everything going on. I love it. And one of the you trying to say something?
As you're talking about it, I'm just thinking about like one of my favorite dialogues from that.
Is it the
from
Superman?
That movie? It's
Superman?
Superman,
Yeah.
and like his whole concept of like, how Clark Kent is Superman, and how she is her actual sorry, I can't find the words, but her superhero costume is the Black Mamba, right? And
Beatrix.
Beatrix. Yeah. Sorry. No, I had it reversed.
Yeah.
She tries.
She really is the assassin.
She really is the assassin.
She's pretending to be
Clark Kent.
Yeah, her Clark Kent is, who she actually is. Mm-hmm. And the assassin is,
But that back and forth.
Or no, sorry, other way around. We're getting mixed up.
It's okay, but
she really is the assassin. She pretends to be a normal person. That's what we're.
And I just love how that point is made across. Like, you are what you are, and there's no running from it. And I think at the very end she owned it. It's like, fine, I am this, but I am a mother. Yeah. So it's going down.
Yeah.
So.
She's not pigeonholed by it.
The reason I think I like Volume 2 over Volume 1 also.
Oh, okay, you agree. Okay.
But it's for a completely different reason, is because when I think I said earlier, Volume 1 is the first Quentin Tarantino movie I watched, or at least the first one I remember watching.
Yeah.
I was so confused when I just watched Volume 1.
In what regard?
Because it didn't really have, like, a clear story from what I remember. Like, it really doesn't add up, and you don't know who Bill is, as you were saying.
Yeah, no, there's definitely.
I understand that I was young at the time, but I want to say we rewatched it. I think the action in Volume 1 is a lot better.
Oh,
like a lot more exciting.
Fight scene.
I think that's way more exciting. But Volume 2 does such a good job of tying up all the loose ends that Volume 1 had, and you
get a lot of answers. In Volume 2.
To a viewer, I think Volume 1. And just watching it, you're left with like, what?
Well, you know, it was originally supposed to be one film.
I did not know that.
It was supposed to be Volume 2 and Volume 1 were supposed to be one film. It was just supposed to be one long ass movie, and they just couldn't do it. It was like 3.5 hours, and he's like, I'm not cutting anything. And so basically, the whole animated sequence of Oren Ishii, played by Lucy Liu. The whole like anime sequence where it's like talking about her and how she became an assassin. That was all added in post. So they basically filmed it and were like, well, we can fit this in here because that's really dope and it was super cool. And and so that's how they stretched the first one into like a feature length film. And then they made it 2 feature-length films. And they were released, like, months from each other in the theaters in, like, 2004.
Yeah, I think one was in spring...
Volume 2 came out in February 2004.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think, like, the beginning of winter was when Volume 1 came out or something.
Right.
So it was... They just released them, like, one after the other. And it was interesting model to do it. But I think it kind of benefited from it in the end.
I think they are
There's
great
so much going on there. The
music is fantastic, too. Well, I mean... All Quentin Tarantino's movies have great music.
He knows how to orchestrate just every piece of the film that he makes. Anything he touches, just...
and kind of like deep cuts, too. He's not... It's the obscure stuff and the popular stuff stuck in the middle of you. I mean, what a scene to use that in.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a total Tarantino move, is to put that to a torture scene, like one that everyone remembers as being like, oh, whoa, like, But yeah, so
All right.
So that's my pick to your answer there. Question of the day.
All right, very, very cool.
Okay,
So now I'm curious to see what I wanted to see what you thought I shared with you.
I bet you just convinced him to pick Volume 2.
If you pick Volume 2 after this, I'll throw you out the window. Or
Well, it is
something.
Volume 2. I'm just kidding. No, so this was actually the one that I picked was actually I think the first Tarantino movie that I watched, and I feel like it's his storytelling at best. And just overall, just his masterpiece, which I think is Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Start to finish.
I cannot argue with that.
Yeah.
No,
It's
solid claims.
considered his best movie, and it is very good.
It's one of the best movies. Like,
Yeah.
just like flat.
It's definitely, like, if I had to pick top 10 movies, this would be in my top 10 every single time we would mention top 10 movies. And, like, from start to finish, like, each scene, like, in same intensity matched when it came to Uma Thurman and the needle, when it came to like the trying to clean up the skull pieces in the car before.
The scene that
like,
always has my heart racing is
Marvin.
the sex dungeon. The
Oh,
crazy
right.
sex dungeon.
Oh God.
It's just like, oh my god.
And the thing is, like, so as those intense moments of build up, you're like, oh my god, like what's gonna like how
I think
like,
that was the first movie where I realized, oh, men can rape other men.
Yeah.
Like that was my first like realization. I was like, oh, that could happen.
That's wow. How old were you?
But see, the thing is, like, what's everything done, like the way that it's orchestrated, like he has fun with it too, because just like the scene you meant, to go off the scene you just mentioned, you have Bruce Willis going back into the pawn shop, who's gonna save Marcellus Wallace, right? Just that whole sequence of him looking at one weapon, chainsaw. No, something like I forgot a bat. No, a freaking katana sword, and he's like, "This will do." That just to me was just
That'll
fun.
do, pig.
It's
Yeah,
that'll do.
so good. Like I just can't like every scene, even to like down to Uma Thurman and John Travolta dancing. That was just kind of great. Like all the dialogues, the little get-togethers, and how it all ties up.
Yeah.
You have a great, amazing cast. This movie also brought back John Travolta's career, because apparently it was going downhill, but this movie was known to bring him back and make him popular again. And I think it won the Academy Award for that year in 1994.
For Best Picture?
For Best Picture.
Did it really?
Yeah, I think it did. If not, then original screenplay.
I'm gonna do a quick
You
fact
can
check on that.
Fact check. Go ahead.
I'm not doubting you. I just
Yeah.
want to have accurate stats out there. But while I'm doing that, something that is just so amazing about that movie, and probably one of my favorite features about it, is the intertwining stories.
Yeah.
The way they all meet each other, and
How many stories are there?
there's Butch, there's
there's Gangsters with Samuel Jackson,
Yeah.
John Travolta. Then there's
Uma Thurman. Butch is Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis,
Okay.
boxing.
Yeah,
one.
the boxer.
There's I forgot who the heist at the very beginning.
I thought that was
At the
Samuel
very
L.
beginning?
Jackson.
that connects to Samuel Jackson at the very beginning. Yeah.
The heist? Are you talking about when the very beginning? Isn't the opening when they're going to collect the case from the kids?
I thought the opening was like
no. It's the diner. The diner scene.
It's the diner.
Oh, that's the opening.
That's the
Oh,
opening.
It also ends on the diner.
It
if
ends in the diner.
I got a great memory. It's just real short. That's my problem. Yeah, no, great. My roommate for several years had the Bad Motherfucker wallet, and
Yes.
I love that.
But I just such a great cast and great storytelling to dialogue. And are you go to the fact checking?
Yeah, just fact checking real quick.
Okay.
Nominated for film editing, supporting actress Uma Thurman, director, supporting actor Samuel Jackson, actor John Travolta, best picture, and then it won best original screenplay.
Okay.
So
That's very
But it,
close.
So 6
but-
nominations and a win. Like
Okay.
that's pretty
Yes.
that's pretty prestigious.
Yeah. So.
In '95.
So yeah, that whole I don't know. I just love that movie. It was like
Is it a good pick?
I think I was like 12, which I shouldn't have seen that movie.
Yeah, I was about to say,
but,
that's-
but when you have older brothers who give you good taste, like
There you go.
it worked out very well because I like had no idea what I was in stores for, and like it was just amazing, and I had a lot of fun.
What we were talking about earlier with the kind of the whole dialogue, just like the kind of not pointless, but
Yeah. That's a classic.
Yeah.
The first
the
conversation.
Oh, the whole what do you call a quarter pounder
Royale with cheese.
I mean that's
There's a whole Cartoon Network
line
skit that makes fun of that.
Yeah,
I just realized.
There's like, I mean, that has spawned so much stuff. I mean,
Space Jam. There's the Pulp Fiction reference of Yosemite Sam and
which it has no place being in a children's movie like that.
Cartoon Network loved taking stuff from Pulp Fiction.
Literally right after that, they kill tons of people. They kill all the people in that apartment.
I like how during that conversation too, like they talk about foot massages and like you see like the relationship and how they like going off each other.
Well, I mean, it's trying to show that they're just normal people too.
Yeah.
Like when their job is not.
I don't think normal people even talk like that though. Like that's like it was like it's almost
no, but it's
like
random bullshit conversations.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
that's the normal.
And it helps develop it. And how about
the subject matter?
But how about the greatest monologue ever put in a movie with Samuel Jackson and his righteous speech?
That's up there. I don't know if I'd say greatest, but it's up there.
I was saying for Tarantino movies, that's probably one of my favorite monologues and intensity, like just the build up to that and like.
I think
just
Samuel's greatest monologue was in Deep Blue Sea, right after before he
Spoiler alert.
We all need to stick together.
Favorite line from Pulp Fiction though is it's a shorty but it's a goodie and it's Zed's dead, baby. I am like 99% sure they named that character Zed just for that line.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Just for that line.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Just so Bruce Willis could pull up on a motorcycle, pick up his girl, and just be like, "Zed's dead," and just like hop on and like that. I would put money on that.
All right. Well, let's move on. I know I can talk about dissect that movie from frame to frame. Anyways, let's so just to further let's just see what we've been watching and let's start with Drew.
Not a lot of movies on my radar here. It's been a busy. It's been a busy week for me. I have been watching. Right. I started Mr. Robot. I'm gonna ignore the peanut gallery over here.
Peanut gallery.
Mr. Robot. I've heard nothing but good things about that.
Fantastic. I don't know why it's taken me so long to get on board. You guys are better than me about watching things. I would have assumed you'd already seen it.
Nope.
Good shit. Good shit. I'm like most of the way through the first season right now. I started a couple days ago.
Give us a light synopsis?
Yeah. So he, I'm blanking on the actor's name.
You don't need to know it. We just need to.
No. Anyways, so basically the main character's name's Elliot. He plays a kind of on the spectrum, just absolute genius computer hacker. He knows everything about computers, and it's basically his struggle with his kind of internal demons because he is extremely paranoid. Has a drug problem. He does a lot of morphine. He one
of those morphine guys.
Yeah, and he's just like very anal about a lot of stuff, and like it's a really interesting character. And basically he works at, just to kind of sum up, the beginning scene here, he works at a cybersecurity company defending what he hates most, giant corporations. He kind of sees that they rule the average American life. And basically he has an opportunity to take a shot at these giant corporations when Christian Slater kind of comes into his life. And I'm not gonna say too much more about it than that, but I highly recommend it. Recommend it. It's been a thrill. Like every episode, it's one of those ones where you're like, well, I just gotta see what happens next. Like I can't, you can't leave me with that. Like you have to watch the beginning of the next episode, and then 4 episodes later, it's 3 a.m. and the cats need to be let out, and construction on the house next to you starts at 8. So yeah.
There you go. All right, Patrick.
Okay, well, I've watched quite a bit more than Drew.
Yeah, well, I chose to dedicate my time to one.
So I'm going to go from my probably least interesting to most interesting.
All right.
So, least interesting thing I watched was Netflix tried to reboot the Mystery Science Theater
Oh, right.
show.
A reboot? I thought
Who's
this is
again?
old episodes.
No, they did their own cast.
Oh, interesting.
It's a new, like, there's new voices for Crow and I forget the other one's name off the top of my head. Tom Servo. Okay. But there's new voices for them, and it's a new main guy. But they do this movie Reptilicus, and I don't know, it just wasn't doing it for me. No. And I couldn't finish it. It was a little just too bland. I mean, some of the old Mystery Science Theater movies are like that.
Yeah.
It might be that I have to give it another try in a different episode, but it's hard but I mean, it's weird if you give your first episode to be that, dry almost. So, yeah, that was a little rough. But I mean, Mystery Science Theater introduced me to one of my favorite bad movies of all time, which is The Killer Shrews.
Yeah.
Amazing. Dogs and carpets.
Yeah. And then I'll go on. So I usually, every now and then, pick a movie based off its title or its cover photo.
Ooh, okay.
And this might excite Drew a little bit because he talked about Kung Fu movies. So I saw this title.
Judging
and I was
face
like,
value as well. So let's.
I was like, oh my gosh, I have to watch this. So this movie called Lady Blood Fight.
Lady Blood Fight. Yeah, Lady Blood.
The excitement already starts again.
So it's one of those. So I'm a sucker for these tournament-style fighting movies.
Awesome,
They're always terrible stories, and this one was pretty bad. Like, this one did a decent. Like, this wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't phenomenal either. Like, the fighting's kind of cool, but like all the women. But this felt like. Jean-Claude Van Damme's what's his fighting Bloodsport.
Yeah.
This is like women Bloodsport.
I love it.
So all the women have their different fighting styles.
Lady Blood Fight, like come on, like
they're all announced by their fighting style. Like that's how they're invited into the ring. It's not like by name; it's their number and their fighting style. So they all have different fighting styles and stuff. And I don't know, it's a fun thrill line. Like, there's a lot of fighting. There's not a lot of, one-hit knockouts like there was in Bloodsport, which is one of the bigger complaints about it.
Yeah.
So wait, this just got released, or it has been not too long?
It's new to Facebook. It's new to Netflix. It's in the
quick news. Facebook has started a streaming service. It's,
yeah,
it's my face. So... Yeah, that's all I'll give about Lady Blood Fight.
Awesome.
Not the worst, but not the best.
All right, what's next?
Next, this movie was amazing. The Founder with Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
I was so happy to watch this movie. This movie reminded me a lot of The Social Network.
Okay.
I think it's better than The Social Network, personally. But, like, you just dive into this character, right? And he seems like a pretty legit guy, but he slowly starts to take away from the actual creators of McDonald's. And you're left in this situation of whether or not do you still like Ray Kroc, that's Michael Keaton's character.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, do you still like him? Because here he was. He created this giant franchise. Like, fast food wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for this man. And I've always been like, I've always loved McDonald's. I understand people still have like a real like intense hate, of beef or pink slime, may I say,
fresh beef.
But this is such a really awesome origin story of the McDonald's, and I found it so intense and interesting, especially since I've been reading a bunch of business books recently and how like intense these people are. And Ray Kroc, he's like all about just being the best in the industry, and it's so interesting to see that.
You just have something to prove, or like is it?
It's just he wants to give something to the community. Like he wants to be remembered. Like he wants to fulfill that need we all have, which is to have a purpose. He wants to fulfill that need, but he wants to be the best that there is, and it's
legacy.
It's like it's both inspiring yet like
a little troubling.
troubling at the same time because he screws over his business partners in a sense, kind of like how The Social Network happens. The main guy, he screws over quite a few people. Some people you're like, they didn't really deserve it, and you're like, some people, they really deserve something out of getting screwed over. But yeah, Michael Keaton, I love him and like everything I watch.
He's
we already did a rant on him in an earlier episode. But and then the thing I've enjoyed the most and just finished today was Ozark.
I can see that.
So I think this show is amazing. It is very
Netflix
similar.
Original?
Yes.
Original. Okay.
Very similar to Breaking Bad, but this is about the money laundering side. This isn't about the smuggling or the dealing. This is about how you hide the money from the feds. So, and I find that so much more interesting. Yeah, it's all about relocating to the Ozarks and how hard it is for it, And you were right. He plays the character that I kind of don't like. Jason
Bateman.
Jason Bateman. Yeah. But he's not as. You guys need to watch it to really find out. But he's not as like. He is a moral guy, but he knows he's doing something wrong. Yeah, because it's just he got in.
What we were talking about before was
to a difficult position.
He kind of generally plays the character that doesn't want to admit or is kind of willfully ignorant.
He'll usually justify something wrong with he thinks should be good, but
that's interesting because I had a little bit of the same complaint throughout kind of Arrested Development. I mean, I love Arrested Development. Don't get me wrong. But and that could be something they did in the 4th season that they kind of really made him out to be more of a bad guy.
Yeah,
which I thought was interesting. But so you just finished?
Just finished.
How long is it? How many episodes are we talking?
It's 10 episodes. They're all hour. The last episode's an hour and 30.
Wow.
See, but I like that. So I really like the fact that Netflix is like now like changing the amount of episodes. Like we'll get like 8 episodes with like Stranger Things. We'll get 13 episodes.
I think it really should be up to the creators because I'd rather have a short show if that's all they can do.
Sure. That's what it boils down to.
Extra filler.
Well, you mentioned Breaking Bad, right? Yeah. And Vince Gilligan, he like knew that he had to end the show after 5 seasons. He's like, I know, everyone, and he knew everyone adored the show. But he's like, this is how it has to end. Like, we can't push it further. We cannot stretch it. Like, this is how it has to go.
Yeah, and it's treasured for it, like living up to that vision.
Yeah.
But I totally recommend watching the Ozark. I don't know if I would say if it's better than Breaking Bad, but it's got so many parallels. They're probably pretty close to being the same. I would say the family element in the Ozark is already way better than the family element in Breaking Bad, but that wasn't Breaking Bad's like main focal point though. It's about the change in Walter. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Sure.
This Ozark is more about how this affects the family. I understand they do that in Breaking Bad, but they go way more deep into they focus a lot on each family member in this one as compared to Breaking Bad.
So comparing it to Breaking Bad here, is there going to be a second season?
Yes.
Is there going to be, okay.
Everyone dies in this show, but it's confirmed that they're all going to be zombie characters in the second season.
It's going to be called Ghost Arcs.
Well played.
Yeah, I believe so. It's like it's better than Game of Thrones, because they actually kill off the main characters, but they all come back as zombies.
Game of Thrones just makes the other characters main characters. You're like, I guess.
And apparently they already announced a 3rd season, but they're going to kill them off again, and there's going to be some new. They're not zombies anymore. It's like a new breed of. They're going to create like walkers or something. I don't know, but
watch them grab this idea. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's a genius. Next season,
getting a call from Netflix any day now.
Yeah, we want to make a show.
But yeah, I thought the whole concept of smuggling, like learning more about the finance behind this stuff, is so interesting.
That's awesome. Yeah.
What about you, Andy? What have you been watching?
What have I been watching?
What has Andy been watching?
They always count on you, Patrick.
TV announcer.
So I want to give a shout out. I watched this documentary series a few weeks ago, but I fell in love with it.
yeah, you remember telling me
called
about
The
this, yeah.
Defiant Ones, and it's the telling of the story between Dr. Dre and producer Jimmy Levine, and it's like their stories, their coming stories of what they both struggled through just to like follow their dreams. It's
Their
HBO,
successes and downfalls.
Yeah, successes
and stuff.
and downfalls. This is an HBO original. This directing and everything, the way it was done, like it kept me entertained and on the edge of my seat, wanting more information from episode 1 to the 4th episode. And just like I think one of my favorite moments is probably like the Eminem segment where they describe how Dr. Dre discovered him and how he just goes into the the studio and just starts doing his thing.
Yeah.
And it's just
That's
chilling.
scene.
It was just chilling to me. 'Cause
I would walk in and out of you watching it. It would be very hard for me to stop watching, but I had so many things to do.
Very well done.
But it was a very good show. Yeah.
So that's pretty much the main show.
HBO makes a mean documentary.
Yeah, they've
do.
had a great. So far, I've been watching a lot of their documentaries.
We just actually watched their Slender Man.
The Slenderman trial one.
About the girls who
About
like
the
stabbed the
12-year-olds.
other girl?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
You got a question for me?
Is she dead?
Is she dead?
Yeah, the
girl?
gal that they stabbed.
I don't. I'm not 100% sure.
Did you follow the? Well, to be fair, did you follow the trial?
I read a headline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
We all thought she was dead. She's still alive.
She got stabbed like 12
19
times.
19
times.
times. So it was reported.
Oh, that's right, because she dragged herself out of the woods and like got help.
Yeah, and all.
For some reason, everyone I've been talking to has thought she was dead.
You know, the only reason I can think she's alive, Slenderman helped her.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Apparently, from this documentary, some people see Slenderman as a guardian angel. It's really interesting.
Well, you guys know the origin of Slenderman, right?
From this documentary, they kind of made it seem like Pied Piper was the oldest rendering of Slenderman.
No, I mean there was literally a Photoshop contest, like
Yes.
the modern.
Yes, that's
incarnation
how it was
is, yeah.
made, but the inspiration may have
Like the
connecting
story,
to
like a myth
the
that
story
kind of
inspiration
parallels. Okay,
came
yeah.
from that.
Pied Piper because
Yeah.
he steals children just
Well,
like
I mean
Slenderman
that's
does.
that's like one of the oldest tropes in fairy tales.
Yes.
You know, the Hansel and Gretel. Like, I guess they get lost, but whatever. But Krampus, like all that kind of
So
stuff.
it was a Photoshop contest.
Yeah, it's a Photoshop contest.
Well, yeah,
Some
we
guy just,
learned that in the
he just,
documentary, too.
put a creepy dude in the playground and was like, "Look at that, he's slender," and everyone's like, "Wow, that is creepy." And then then the whole
Community.
Marble Hornets thing, like the.
Well, they kept on talking about
90
creepy
part-
pasta.
Yeah, there's like there's like the 90-part like YouTube series where the people there was like these two kids like pretending to make a film project.
We
and
watched
then-
something similar to that.
Something
Yeah,
similar.
yeah, and then like Slenderman showed up and it turned into being about, and everyone's like, "What's happening next?" And like, so
Yeah.
Okay,
It
back
was,
to Andy and Drew
yeah.
steal Andy's segment.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's kind of funny because Drew's gonna probably jump into this segment, but the other thing I've been
I
watching,
jump in wherever I can.
I've been keeping up with Game of Thrones, and
Oh.
man, oh man, has this
Oh,
season,
yeah.
this season has been. I'm pretty happy with the season.
Things are moving.
Things are happening.
This season. Things are moving fast.
You have Jon Snow saying, "I'm gonna go talk to Daenerys." Next episode.
Boom.
What's up, Daenerys?
Yeah.
Straight up
Yeah.
in one.
Peter Dinklage is like, "I'm gonna go talk to Jamie." That episode, he's like, "Hey, I got to King's Landing. I set up a meeting. I'm here. What's up?"
What's up?
Like that. I mean, that could
But,
easily
and just
take
to be clear,
half the
we are.
season.
If you have not seen any of the season, please tune out because Spoilers for sure. Because
We're not good at that.
We're not.
We got to get better about.
I apologize, but still, it's Game of Thrones, and you should have already seen this.
Yeah, when this airs, we'll be fine.
Yeah. hopefully.
Remember, we don't respect you, the viewer, but we respect each other.
This is
spoilers.
No.
This is about us.
We-
All right. This is about.
We are looking out for you too. We want you to see Game of Thrones. Anyways.
Andy's looking out for you.
But okay,
Yeah.
Drew, from the spoil of war, that whole
Is that
battle.
is that the name of an episode?
That's the
Okay.
dragon fight and like
okay,
everything
okay.
and just who's Patrick. You actually liked this character. I forgot his name already. Braun.
Yeah. Oh, Braun's the best.
Yeah.
I love Braun.
He almost shot down a dragon. He almost killed Daenerys' dragon.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Because Cersei's like, oh, we have this weapon to just kill dragons, and it was like this. I don't know how do you call that contraption. It's a big.
It was basically a giant crossbow.
They're like called Archilius or something like that.
Archilius?
It starts with an A. It's like
I know
it's a real thing.
The arbalist is the person who operates it.
But they are, this season for sure is moving at a really fast pace. Compared to the sixth season.
Compared to any season, really. I mean, could you imagine if it was like, Robb Stark, he's king of the North, now he's dead, ball. I mean, they're saying they're gonna do something.
Oh, Ballista.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
And I mean, it's nice. It's nice. I kind of do like when they draw it out a little bit. I think it adds a little more gravity, a little more suspense. But we're at the point where I feel like even these things, which seem like they would be major things in other seasons, are being dwarfed by the greater things at play here.
Yeah.
Like, they're coming in from the top of the wall. They're trying to capture an undead, to try and get the armies to all treaty. I think the big thing for this season is going to be either the armies coming together and saying, oh yeah, the threat to the north, that's a real threat, or them kind of self-destructing when they try to do that. I think that's going to be the big takeaway for the season.
Probably, I would not...
I honestly would hope for a battle royale. That feels the most Game of Thrones.
I think Cersei's
with Cersei in charge for sure.
Yeah, I think she's definitely going to try and do some sneaky shit.
Yeah. Speaking of sneaky shit, what do you think about Littlefinger and Arya?
Littlefinger.
Yeah. What?
I was so stoked. Arya was sneaking on him and doing all that, and then my literal reaction was when Arya came out of the room and Littlefinger was in the shadows watching her. I was like, bullshit, no way. He's sneaky, but she's like a master assassin. But I guess
what makes you think he's not
an assassin?
Master sneaky person.
I know he is a master.
He's very sneaky,
but
but I'm just talking about she had literal godly training.
Yes, but we don't know about his training. Is what I'm trying to get at.
I guess so.
But see, that's the coolest thing about him. I love this character because I love him because I don't know how far he's gonna go, and he's just so chaotic. And for that same reason, I hate him because he could turn at any moment. So he's just a really interesting character.
And he's just like every other character where he's super self-interested, except he's got knowledge on his side, which is big.
He's like the pinnacle of self-interest, though. He had some dialogue with Sansa, an episode or two ago.
Yeah.
Where I actually wanted to bring this up when you mentioned this. Because at one point, I feel like it's the only thing you've ever heard him say in the entire show that was, genuine Littlefinger. This is who he is. It's raw. Sansa's, sad about something, and he's like, they are your enemy, they are your friend. If you live your life thinking every single opportunity, every single thing will happen, every single thing won't happen, everything might happen, if you live your life like that, nothing will surprise you. And I thought that was such an interesting contrast to Arya, because Arya is no one, and he is everyone. That's how he's living his life. He's thinking about every possibility like that. And Arya is like an empty vessel. She just, she's there. It was an interesting contrast.
I'm just excited to see where that's going to lead to. Because again, like you, I'm just like, oh shit. What's going to happen next? But yeah, so I've been enjoying the crap out of that show. Yeah. I've actually tried reading the books, and I read all the way through half of the series, and then I couldn't. There's so many characters.
The series.
Yeah,
wow,
there's 5 books, and I read 2.5. So I stopped at the middle of the 3rd book. But hopefully I can pick it back up again.
I heard he wrote himself into a few corners in the books there, and just kind of some plot lines just kind of got dropped.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's all the characters and everything that he's developed. I'm pretty sure as a writer, you're gonna have to do that when you need to start focusing on some of the bigger picture stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean that's what I've been watching, and so I'm having a blast. I think there's gonna be 3 more episodes because it's supposed to be a 7 season, and then
Is that it?
yeah, that's it.
Oh,
we only get 7 this year, and then I think we get either 7 or 8 the following for the last and final season, which is why I think they are trying to get through everything, not quickly, but to give the audience everything they want. The biggest thing though that I don't think anyone caught. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure people caught it, but the Jon Snow's parents and Samwell telling what's her name? His girlfriend's name. Gilly?
Bucky? Yeah.
Yeah. Giving so she's reading out of a manual, and she talked about Rhaegar and a secret wedding. Do you know what that was about, Drew?
I thought you were talking about somebody taking shits.
No. That was part of it, but then she read further, and then she mentioned it was so subtle. No one really picked up on it.
No, I missed this entirely. Was she talking about?
She read about the
wedding.
She read about. So no, who was it? Samuel was the one talking about the shits at some point, right? Because she was reading about like 100 and something steps.
Yeah.
Right, and so later she started reading another part, and they talked about a secret wedding held with Rhaegar.
So Jon Snow is heir to the throne.
How is it secret if it's written?
Well, it was written secret wedding, and she was gonna say it was
It's written secret wedding
because like the maesters, they write everything, right? And so of course they're gonna hide. They're gonna tell you, like, they're gonna say like, oh, it's supposed to be a secret wedding that no one knows, that they didn't want.
It's not public knowledge.
It's not a public knowledge thing, exactly. But this is supposed to.
But it's recorded.
Yeah, it's recorded. It's supposed to tell you that Rhaegar and Ned Stark's sister actually
got married,
which then
We're in love,
and had the.
Were in love, or like I thought she was like raped by him.
No, that's the theory. That's the made up story. That's what got Robert Baratheon to be like, I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna start the rebellion, for the whole, and that's how that whole thing got overturned when the Mad King was a part of it. But yeah, so no one. It's funny, like they mentioned that, which they're just trying to confirm all of those fan theories, which is really funny. But anyways, but we'll probably talk about the next episode. In our next segment, possibly. So I just wanted to, like, now that we're talking about movies, I kind of every now and then like to check in to see how the movies are doing in the box office.
Okay.
Movie news!
It's not news.
Movie news, everyone. This is...
Possibly. I want to play a little game with you guys, because I'm pretty sure none of you guys have looked up how movies are doing in the box office.
Nope.
No.
So I want to... so it's going to be... So,
all right, okay.
I don't know if you guys are game. I want to ask you what are the
Let's
top
go.
3 movies of the year you guys think are happening?
Of the year?
Yeah, of the year.
In U.S. or just
domestically?
Domestically.
Yeah.
Baby Driver, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman.
Okay. One more time. Say it again.
Wait, like in that is from lowest to highest.
Say it again.
Currently, I think it's Baby Driver, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman being the highest grossing right now.
Okay, so you think Wonder Woman's highest, Spider-Man, then Baby Driver?
Just because Wonder Woman, it's had its run already. Spider-Man only came out like a month ago.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Wonder Woman, Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast. Interesting.
God, did Spider-Man make it? I feel like Drew just repeating those 3 names over and over again. I can't think of any other movies.
So you need a third one still, right?
Planet of the Apes?
No, that one definitely didn't make it.
Just trying to spitball with you here.
I think Baby Driver, it being rated... Was it rated R or PG-13?
It was rated R.
That was
I think
R.
that takes some of its pie away. I guess I'll go Spider-Man.
Oh, shit. Guardians of the Galaxy was this year.
Anybody want to switch your answers before the market?
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy instead of Spider-Man.
What number?
3.
3 for Guardian, and you?
I'm gonna put it 3.
3 for Guardian.
Yeah. Because I think it's all superhero movies.
It's kind of freaky. And just to tell you, they have not looked at their phones to look up how much these movies have made.
Yeah, this isn't.
But okay, so in the first slot for 2017, we have Beauty and the Beast.
That's
number 1?
At number 1 for $500 million.
Damn.
Domestically.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I claimed that as 2.
Well played.
Yeah, and number 2 is Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
At 400.
Did we
killed
both
it.
claim
You
it at
killed
one?
it. Yeah, I said 1 for Wonder Woman.
Okay.
You said first. You almost would have had it. This is where I got freaked out because you guys want to know what number 3 is?
What?
Is it like a Minions
Guardians.
or something?
It is
Guardians.
Yeah, Guardians.
You kind of helped us though on that one.
Yeah.
A little bit. I saw you get a little
I was
excited.
Well, because when you guys both
Guardians
said
was
it,
involved.
when you guys both mentioned Guardians, I'm like, oh crap! And you guys both put them on number 3, so I'm just like, oh.
So I got all the 3 movies.
Yeah,
though.
you got it.
Well,
Ring a ding ding. Patrick wins.
Yeah, rated R movies have a hard time getting on the top.
Yeah,
so,
grossing
but
list.
the top
But they're
grossing,
cool.
the top grossing rated R movie so far this year is Logan.
Logan.
So-
That makes
I
sense.
keep forgetting how long this
Yeah.
year's been.
We're 8 months in, man. 8 months in.
I can't believe that. I am
Yeah.
shocked.
But just to give you, so
Shocker.
I'll read you the top 5 so far. So we got Beauty and the Beast, Wonder Woman, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man, and then Despicable Me 5.
I knew it. You heard me say Minions. You heard me, audience. I said
I
that.
do not remember that.
I said Minions as a joke very quickly as you were saying something else.
But I don't know. I always like to check in.
Play it back.
Play it back.
You get
I always like to check in and see how movies are doing in the box office.
So I remember you had a top 10 things of the summer.
I did.
How is yours looking?
Oh man, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
You really want me to read them?
I don't remember you having Despicable Me up there, so
Okay. Real quick, I will read the top 10 movies that I thought were going to do well over the summer.
in order.
In order. So Beauty and the Beast does not count because that's technically winter. So these are all starting from May. So at number 1, I had Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, that's a little biased, isn't it?
hey, it got a lot of love, okay? And then at number 2, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Spider-Man Homecoming's still in theaters, so there's still plenty of time for it to just the kind of top off.
And it's probably like the end of it too, though, because we're already in like mid-August. So.
When did it come out? It came out beginning of July?
It came out, beginning of July.
They can hang around.
So this is really random. I picked War for Planet of the Apes as number 3.
Number 3.
Dang.
For number 4, Despicable Me 3.
Oh, you did get it. Okay.
For number 5, Transformers Last Night. Number 6.
You had it that high?
Yeah. I don't know what I was... Because like the last Transformers...
Dude, I saw that movie. It was terrible.
I have not seen it, but those movies have made so much money.
That's true.
You know,
That's
because it's a
true.
PG-13 movie. Kids want to see it, so it's just kind of
merchandising.
it makes money. For number 6, Cars 3. Number 7, Wonder Woman.
Fucking up.
Number 8, Alien Covenant. Number 9, Dunkirk. And number 10, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. So,
I mean, that's a solid lineup. I think.
kind of way off, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
just trying to.
Anyways, so let's just go into our review and thoughts about the original Netflix of Castlevania.
Yeah.
Movie review.
We will work on
And shows.
dividing our segments.
Okay.
I like this freeform kind
If you
of.
guys don't mind, I want to go first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot. Go.
So, I was very interested by this anime.
Like before you got into it, or like
No,
like as
just
you're...
from all the buzz about it,
Yeah.
because I was surprised that everyone was talking good things about it.
Uh-huh.
So when I watched it, I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was amazing. But it definitely wasn't bad.
Right.
I thought it was interesting that there's a character transition midway, or I guess after the first episode. You're following this character that was hardly ever in the first episode.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the?
Sorry, it's the
Trevor-
Belmont,
Tre- yeah,
Trevor
Trevor
Belmont.
Trevor Belmont.
Yeah.
Who's the monster hunter, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Castlevania games at all?
Yes, so
Okay.
this show apparently follows the storyline of Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse.
Yep.
And this is directed by Sam Dietz. And
Dietz.
so apparently this is the prequel to what the actual show is going to be, and the actual show is going to be 8 episodes long.
Yeah.
So I thought this was really interesting. Apparently, people really like the art style. I think it's fine. I'm not too attracted to it. I mean, I would preferably want more like diversity in creatures, but whatever. There's like I think like 3 or 4.
Well, it's just the prequel. They're setting
Yeah,
it up.
And,
You know,
and to
they're
be
setting
fair,
it up.
They give you a flavor.
It's only
and-
4 episodes
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, the whole, just real quick, just to play devil's advocate here, the whole Castlevania games, right? Or you go through Dracula. It shows up once every 100 years. You show up in the castle, and it's just filled with monsters. So I'm assuming the 8 episodes that this is the prequel to are just going to be like you're going to get your fill of crazy shit.
Okay, yeah,
It's
no.
gonna be-
So I will continue to watch this series.
Uh-huh.
Like it has me hooked enough to be, but I think there's a big cult following already behind this show. Like a lot of people talk about this being like really good and really amazing, and I just didn't see it. Like, and I thought I would be one of those people who thought it would be. So I'm like, maybe there's just a super big nerd following. But this game defined a genre, right? There's a whole thing called Metroidvania.
Yeah, it's like the Metroid games and Castlevania. That's
I
that's
mean,
what makes it up.
I mean, the game's already got a huge following, and it's one of the quote unquote like better video game movie/TV shows out there. Apparently, that takes from a
arguably,
video
yeah.
game. So
There's not a whole lot that competes with it. So
yeah, and so just as
just a little lackluster for you.
It wasn't like so. This is the thing. It's not like it was bad. I guess I think I got overhyped a little bit.
Oh, you think it was that kind of syndrome? Just people were talking it up too much and
Because I think
world changing and
I'm not super big into animes, but I do like animes. Like I like One Punch Man, and then there's some other ones like Gurren Lagann and other just crazy animes.
For crazy ones, I really love Attack on Titans.
Yeah, Attack on Titan is amazing. But yeah, so I didn't think it was like mind blowing. Like I don't think this anime introduced anything like new or gnarly to me. Like that's why I like animes. They usually bring something new to the table that like American cinema just does never like address. It's like they usually do over the top crazy action scenes or something like that. And this one does have one. It's the very end in the very last episode, and I really hope there's more fight scenes like that.
That was a good fight scene.
It was a good fight scene.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to this before we get more into detail. Drew, what are your impressions?
I think I liked it. I really liked it. And to Patrick's point here, I think this was kind of made for an audience that isn't like super familiar with anime as a genre. Like I'm not the most knowledgeable anime guy around. And I think this appealed to me. And one of my favorite things about it was the voice acting. I thought the voice acting was
That's what I was reading is a lot of because this was a American voice acted show and or anime, and there's not too many. Mm-hmm. There's not too many of those.
Well, I don't just mean like the animation syncing up well with the actual acting.
Yes,
itself.
but you're talking about the actual.
But the actual voice actors themselves, I thought they did a really good job of what they were doing, and I don't know. I'm familiar with the games, not too familiar with like the plot. I kind of read and learned a lot about this post Castlevania anime, and it really got me interested in the lore here. Like I wanted to learn more about Dracula, and like I thought his whole power set was really cool and all that kind of stuff, and so yeah, the whole first episode where he's basically turns into a pillar of fire. He's basically the devil, and that's kind of rad in my opinion. So
yeah.
See you, Royce.
Bye. Friend is about to walk out. That's awesome. I sat through this and I didn't dislike it. I enjoyed it. I thought the concept was really cool because I came in this blind. I knew nothing about any of this. So I don't know. I really liked it. I thought that the characters were interesting. That there was a lot of dialogue, which I didn't dislike. There's just like a lot to follow, and I think the one thing I wish that this, like Patrick, I wish it would have led into like more of the action, but this is like an intro, you know. And if it would have been more of like a season,
I think that's really important to keep in mind when watching it.
yeah. So
But I mean, it because of this though, it doesn't fall folly to like what a lot of video game movies do is like they focus on the action and then they lose their story. Like this does a really good job of sticking to the story.
So from like episode 1, I got you know, I was sold because just in that first episode you meet Dracula's love, Lisa, right?
Lisa?
Yeah. Just a wonderful character, loves science. When you meet a whole civilization that thinks science is the devil's work and it's magic, and they literally burn her alive.
Yeah, just for trying to like learn and help out humanity.
We get that in the first episode.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So again, sorry with spoilers. The last person dies, but that sets off everything. That became the catalyst towards Dracula's like.
That was one of the things that I was super confused about. Was there like a time skip at some point
When?
in time in the show?
Oh, like there were 2 in the first episode.
There are 2 time skips.
Yeah, 2 time skips. So there's she meets him. She like just walks into his castle. She's like, I'm here. Like I'm just like you're cool. I'm cool. Like let's make this work.
I'm ready to do science.
Yeah.
And Dracula, like because everyone's like afraid of him, thinks he's weird. Like this was the first person, you know, not to be
The challenge.
First,
him.
to challenge him.
First
like,
human who. Well, if this is set in Castlevania 3, then this would be he would have been defeated by Belmonts twice before already. So he's interacted with people, but I think this is like the first person who's come to him as an ally.
Okay.
The first person who's come to him seeking answers.
Yeah, seeking help.
Yeah.
And
Not just help, but like collaboration, which is because he's got a lot to offer, and
I think it was very sweet though. With the relationship that they built between them was really sweet.
Yeah, they don't need long to do it too. You could tell it was. But so then there's a time skip there. There's a time skip where they live together for a long time.
Okay.
They have a son together. They build a house. They have a home, and she sends him to travel the world to try and be more human.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so is she a vampire?
No, she's just a straight person.
Okay, because I felt like when she was getting burned, she was like the same age, which was, I guess, very confusing to me.
Yeah, she did look kind of the same age, but I think it's mostly just chalked up to just it is what it is.
Because back in that day, if you were like 40, you looked like the crusty old 90
Well,
person today.
she was the only one who had like legit science and was like, oh, like wash your
cream
hands
and
after
stuff?
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Cream.
But
You know. And then there's
They set her
the
on-
second time skip is post when he gave them the warning. He's like, I'll come
Yeah,
back
the
in
1
a
year.
Yeah, I'll come
That's
back
the
in
only
a
one
year.
that I actually know
Yeah.
that happened.
And then that 1 year happens and shit goes crazy.
Literally all hell breaks loose.
Literally. So that was like all in the first episode. Episode 2, we meet Trevor
Belmont. which
Protagonist.
Yeah. Who
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
think
the
was gonna be-
protagonist
yeah.
of this prologue
Yeah.
season. The next season, it's
incarnation.
speculated that the protagonist will be. I'm just
going
gonna say it, Alucard.
Oh yeah. Well, it's kind of like the trio there now,
Yes.
you know, because like each episode introduces a new character.
Yeah.
You got the oh my god,
The main villain first episode, then
Yeah.
Trevor Belmont, then the magician girl.
What is her name? I wouldn't have.
Saya Belnates? Maybe I wrote that wrong. Scylla? Sylvia?
Silly,
Something like that.
silly.
Yeah,
and you got her set up, and then you got Alucard coming in,
Yeah.
and it was very clearly a prologue. I did not know going into it that it was only 4 episodes.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I started it up. I was like, wow, this is just starting to get good, and it was like we're done. Like, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And so
because that last episode, like, I feel like just made
good
it up
fight.
for me. I loved it. Like when you
Made it up for you.
Yeah, because like I felt like it started getting dry in between with all the talking. Like and I feel like I started kind of in the sense not understanding Trevor Belmont's like his motives because like he like just wanted to be on his own, but then he's like helping these people. He's helping.
Yeah, he's kind of like this morally confused character.
Yeah, and he's helping the speakers.
He's coming from the Belmont family, and the Belmonts are monster hunters through and through. Like that's
Well, he wants to help people at the same time he doesn't because he was so conflicted because people are they betrayed him.
Yeah,
technically.
that's the problem.
I mean, not these people that he's specifically protecting, but he technically wants to protect everyone in general.
Yeah.
But he has this love-hate relationship with his own kind, in a sense.
And like I guess when you're talking to like the leader of the speakers, that's what they call it, right? The speakers.
I believe so. Yeah.
You'd like, okay, I'm gonna bring your grandchild back, and you guys are all gonna leave. And in my head, I'm like, well, if he's like, he doesn't really care. Why is he caring and telling him, making them want to go? Like that was just confusing at first. But
Also, like how a lot of this narrative was sped up by them falling through floors.
Yeah.
You guys realize
Yeah.
that?
That was
There's
great, though.
There's
It was
like
funny.
each episode, the floor would crack and they would fall to a new
How many
level, and then the
did
story
you
would
count?
begin to unfold from there.
did you count how many floors they go? Like,
God, it was at least 5.
Yeah. The Cyclops though was cool though.
That was a
Belmont.
great fight.
That was a cool fight.
That was a cool fight. I thought it was a little short, but yeah, it was still cool.
For what it was, I thought
Well,
it was
I
fun.
think it was kind of cool because it gave you a little exposition into Trevor himself. He knew what it was immediately. He knew how to
Right,
deal with
as
it
a-
immediately.
Mhm.
Like, he was like ready.
It gave him credibility.
Yeah,
for what
thank
it
you.
was.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But yeah, and then the last episode, we see I forgot her name too. I can't pronounce it.
Who?
The magician girl.
That's what we forgot before.
Yeah.
Silly.
We call her
Really?
Silva. Scylla.
Okay.
Saliva.
They get into like the whole castle, and you meet a new character.
That's the speaker's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaker's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Then we meet Dracula's son at the
Alucard.
very end, Alucard.
Yeah.
After a really cool battle, which I thought was really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that like again, I kind of was like I felt like I think like you, Drew, and like everything like they fought, and then they're like, okay, you know what, let's work together, and then boom, it ends.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
You
And-
finally got the dream team, and
Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z syndrome. If you
Yeah,
beat me, I
exactly.
become your friend.
Exactly.
So
Well put.
a little fun fact: Symphony of the Night, probably one of the best Castlevania games. Came out on the PlayStation, but still used sprites, so they had just amazing sprite work. You play as Alucard,
Oh, cool.
and it is like pretty phenomenal. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I think they're
So,
taking some of that story into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's set. The Symphony of the Night is set like 200 years after this,
After
Trevor Belmont.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, because Alucard's like half vampire, so he can he just goes to sleep, he wakes up, it's 200 years later, he's like tight.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So just a little quick fact for you.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, I guess we all kind of liked it, right? I mean, I thought it was cool.
Liked it. Anticipating the newer episodes, more so.
Yeah.
Is there any
Yeah.
information on when the next season's gonna come out?
I know they're
Early
working on them.
2018 is what I heard.
2018.
That's
Not too far
early.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half a year.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd recommend it for anyone who's into anime and a cool short little story.
And even if you're not.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts on Castlevania?
No, I think I'm good.
I think we kind of covered the bases on that one.
All right. So I guess that will end our review. Next week, I'm actually pretty stoked about it. I might actually have one of my other friends come join us for this podcast because they're also a comic book and superhero nerd like myself. I really, really want to review The Defenders. And so if you guys are up for the challenge, I am more than willing to. So
When do the episodes drop?
So they drop the 18th.
Isn't that
That's tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Well, I'll be a daredevil and Iron Fist you.
Woo! Woo!
So it's
Watch
8
out for that.
episodes. So I kind of really wanted to set.
Oh, it's only 8?
It's only 8 episodes. So we'll see where they take it. But yeah, I'm excited. So hopefully we'll review that in the following week.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's it, everybody.
Okay. Well, I'm Patrick, and I watched Annabelle and didn't talk about it.
You didn't have to. My name's Drew.
And I'm Andy. Thank you for listening. Until next time.
That movie was...